Hey, 911 family, welcome back to episode 14. This one is about PSAP managers leading in strategic encouragement. I call it strategic encouragement because there needs to be a plan sometimes. This is part one. Double down on your open door policy, leaders. Double down on that policy. Let me tell you a story. Those of you from Michigan or those who have traveled in conferences over the years from other states may have heard of the man Lloyd Fayling. He was the director at Genesee County 911, and a shout out to Genesee County 911. I love you guys, and I hope you're doing well. Uh, Lloyd Fayling passed away a couple of years ago. He was a man's man, and he was just bigger than life, and he was so like invincible that you would have thought the guy would have died multiple ways because he had health problems, right? Everybody knew it. He just kept going on. He was so close to retirement. He kept telling his wife, I really am going to do it this time. I'm going to retire. And then he was climbing up on a ladder and he was cleaning out, I think, the gutter on his house. He got stung by a bee and he died. Okay. Not good. Not good at all, because Lloyd Fayling had become someone extremely significant to all his people in the 911 center. When he died, people were so deeply impacted that the deputy director called me and said, we need you. Will you come back to Genesee County to hang out with our dispatchers? And I can tell you, I had the privilege of sitting down one-on-one with each of the people in that 911 center. And I would never divulge anything explicit that someone shared with me, but there was a theme I do want to share. And I'm going to just make up a name so you know that there's nobody's confidentiality blown here at all. But there was a theme that ran throughout the stories I heard again and again by the folks at Genesee County 911. And it was something like this. He had a booming voice. When you heard Lloyd Fayling's voice, it shook the earth and it shook you as well. So his employees have told me and his colleagues, right? So like maybe there's one day he's reviewed a call and it wasn't handled very, very well. And he shouts out, Sally, get in there. It's like, uh-oh, you're in trouble. It's your time in the barrel with Lloyd, right? So there she goes. Sally, whoever Sally is, goes into Lloyd's office. He says, you got to listen to this. Click, plays the call, right? It's not good. She knows it's not good. She was waiting for this. Click. All right, what the hell's going on? This isn't like you. What's going on? What's going on? Tears come. Maybe I can't do it. Explanation of personal problems that are making things financially very, very bad. And then Lloyd leans down and he pulls up something and he begins to write and he scribbles. Is it a disciplinary action? Is it a cue with a score? No, he tears it off. It's a check and he slams it down on the desk. And she looks at it and says, oh my God, Mr. Fayling, no, I can't take this $3,000. It's a loan. You'll pay it back when you can. Now, enough said. Get out there and rock the console. When Lloyd said enough was said, they knew that there was nothing that was going to linger in terms of trouble for them. They knew that they were not going to be reprimanded beyond the scope of that one issue. They knew that Lloyd had their back. The biggest lesson from this, you guys, is the leader was attuned. And he was looking for more than just performance and then docking performance with discipline action. He was looking at what might be going on behind the performance struggle. And folks, if there was ever a time when we need to look as leaders and be attuned to what might be behind the veneer of competence, and I got this in 911, it's right now during COVID-19, this pandemic. And I'm not trying to point a finger at leaders and say you're not doing that. The more stressed out you are, the harder it's going to be to think outside the box. You're going to be feeling more and more like we have to do everything right because there's so much riding on it. So no judgment offered here. I just want to suggest that you guys double down on your open door policy. How's about writing a fresh letter to your employees and saying, you guys, as we're going through this, I want to be sure you know, in kind of a Lloyd Fayling way, right? That the door is open, that people come in, that they can pour out, they can vent, they can talk to you as a leader. It doesn't mean you're a therapist. It doesn't mean you're trying to be everybody's counselor, but they need to know that their leader's dialed in, that you're attuned, and that you're not looking at them as one-dimensional cardboard figures. You see three-dimensionally about what might be going on in their lives. Okay, so maybe you write a fresh letter of invitation, keep the door open. And by all means, you got to practice showing that you care and such that they're going to believe the invitation is real and that they're going to take you up on it. They need to be able to feel safe in your office. Okay, look, here's the deal. After COVID-19, you want to be able to look back and have your people say, our leaders were really there for us. This is a place I want to come back to work. Okay. Thanks. Thanks for listening. Email me, jim@911training.net. If you're struggling as a leader and you want to bounce some things, kick some things around, and maybe you've got struggles with stress and the overwhelm in your center, I'll be happy to just work with you and talk with you about that. Okay. Join us for the next episode. Thanks for listening.